Oba of Benin is taking his name after, lost 2 of his children, the heir apparent to the throne of the Benin Empire. They died over a small quarrel. They poisoned themselves, they all died. Now, when that happened, to mourn, the Oba then went into a 3-year of mourning, and he made the city to mourn as well. That for 3 years, nobody should go close to his wife. No person should give birth to a child until when the mourning period is over. Many people endured, but a number of communities or a number of people could not. So there was mass migration outside of the Benin Empire or the Benin Kingdom. And then, of course, to stop that migration and to make people stay and live their life in the Benin, he built a moat. This is one of it, at Ipoba Slough, outside or in the outskirts of the ancient Benin city. In time, Oba Iware relaxed his sanction and the ban was lifted. To date, however, several communities outside of Benin trade the emergence of their settlement from the context of that migration.
Like today now you have many settled Ishan. Because this Ishan town you hear about today, it was that time they migrated from the city. Most of them are from the palace. Even the Ishans, like my way I'm from Ekuma, many of them they migrated that period. You understand? Many parts of Ishan, even Ora. You understand? So because that incident, that's why you have those people went and settled there. But that does not mean that that was the only time these people migrated. It was in batches. But most of the people migrated during that era, during the era of Eware the First.
The story in context is that there are inner and outer moats in Benin. Whatever their intentions, they explain the perspective of the over 14,000 kilometer stretch of the earthworks. There are more insights on how the distance is arrived at though.
Anytime the Benin people war against the enemy and conquer the neighboring city, the neighboring villages around, the Oba send a chief as Omoghai to go and rule these people. And by so doing, the Omoghai himself built a moat round about his village and connects it to the Benin city wall. And this is how the network of moats continue all over in the cities we have in Benin, in the villages all around Benin.
The moats have come a long way. They engaged the minds of the first Europeans in Benin. In the 1st of June of 1961, the earthwork was declared a national monument by the then Federal Department of Antiquities. It is also chronicled in the Guinness Book of Records in the year 1978. By all definitions, the moats are memoirs of the warring activities of Benin Kingdom and a living testimony of how strong the Benin Empire was. Sadly, these testimonies are going away. This great historical achievement is going through distortions.
I have so many people who go there to go and carve out of the walls and use for their own building projects. You have some who turn the moat to dump sites. Some go there to convert it to toilets and mess up the entire place. So over the period, what we have had is a situation where the moats have been filled up by a lot of silt and dirt. And that has already taken away the key value of the moat.
This is a scene where people literally build on top of the moat, defying extant laws on encroachment. Talking of the encroachment of the Benin earthwork, the moat especially, a lot of illustrations abound. Now, behind me, of course, is a picture of the moat. Obviously, it has been filled up. You can see it, but at least because of the vegetation, you can still see it's a picture of a moat. But then going down, if I move around, I'm linking up to the road. It is like there is no depth anywhere. And then you find buildings anywhere. On the left and right are buildings. Obviously, we are losing the moat very fast. The tragedy of the multisectoral invasion of these moats is the fact that today only some aspect of that heritage trail bear a semblance of the original moat. The curator of the Benin Museum offered an insight of his experience with the moats growing up in Benin.
Now, while we were going to school, primary school, then as children, we were so afraid each time we get to the axis where the moat is along the road. So afraid that we usually walked at the middle of the road. We couldn't go to the shoulder of the road, because if you do that, it will mean you looking down into the moat, and what you'll be looking at will be a bottomless pit. You cannot even see the ground, the base of the moat. So as children, we were scared. It appeared as if the depth of the moat was about to suck you in. That bad. That same axis of the moat along the airport road where I said I grew up, today I can walk on it across because it's completely filled up.
The question is, at what period in history did the distortion of this national heritage begin? Many believe it begins with the advent of colonialism. Over the years, these moats have gone through so many changes, various changes. One of it, of course, is encroachment. The encroachments are by the civil populace, but in most places too, by government itself. Where I am here is a place filled up with government buildings. The High Court building is here. The State Secretariat is around this area as well. There is a prison. All of them encroach the natural route of the moat. What is happening is, this earthwork has gone around the Benin town, cycling the palace of the Oba. And then, because it is a continuous cycle, modern state is having its effect on violating its beauty. There have not been lack of efforts to arrest the distortions of the earthworks. They just do not work.
Some years ago, our father, Erediawa, the Oba of Benin, the last Oba before the present one, the father of our present Oba, set up a committee of chiefs, very senior chiefs, and asked me to head them. And we went round the moat and tried to see where people have encroached on the moat. We went round and we told the people that they were encroaching on the moat, and their encroachment is illegal because there is a law which protects the moat and its immediate surroundings. There is I think it is 100 feet from the middle of the moat on both sides. You are not supposed to build on it.
I asked the EIC, what happens to their reports?
We reported to our father, and we also reported to the museum curator at the time. The best thing is to prosecute these people, including the forfeiture of any property on the moat land. But nobody did anything about it. Apart from the Oba coming out on the air to tell them that the moat is a heritage which all Benin people are proud of.
There are so many values attached to this earthwork when they were active, and even today. These earthworks are a subject of intense research into the Benin past. People across the world still visit them.
They have spiritual values. Sacrifices are made to ward off evil against the people, to ward off evil against the land. So sacrifices were made in the moat. We have cultural values also, where a widow, for example, a widow who goes through mourning period, of her husband, mourning clothes she wears, they are thrown there in the moat. Part of it. That's the story.
Benin has 9 walls across the earthwork trails. They are all gone now. Even so, an ancient Benin highway still thrives.
Yes, so this is the ancient road in the Benin Kingdom. That's why this road, they call it Uwonde, Uro Uwonde, and Uwonde in Benin means head road. It's the first road, and in that ancient time, here there was a gate here. You understand? So you could access the outside world. Those days, Benin call it, they made a pilgrimage to Uhe. Okay, Uhe. So this was the first head road.
The major task ahead now is how to reclaim the Benin wall and moat. There is a manifest phobia among a section of culture buffs that if the pattern and wave of distortion of the moat is not immediately checked, a day will come soon enough when the moat will not be there. There is a focused reclamation drive now through identifying actual distortion agents and through cooperation and education of the people.
In the good old days, nobody tried what they are doing now. Well, let's say up to the 1930s or thereabouts, nobody goes near the moat. But at that time, the Oba still had some power. Since the colonial days started here, your powers are no longer there. The Oba can do things. But in those days, if you are told don't go near the moat and you went near it, something happens to you. But we can't do any such things now. The power has gone to you people.
The Benin artwork is a heritage treasure to the world, to Nigeria, and in particular to the people of Benin. The story, however, for now is, will the world allow this remarkable feat in engineering go out of the face of the earth? It is a question for all stakeholders to answer.